So if you've not seen my previous videos, I am going over the motion in limine, the hearing that just happened for the Idaho 4 Moscow murders for Bryan Kohberger, and summarizing all the motions that they went over on April 9th. Now there is about, I want to say 20 or so motions that they went over. This is 8 to 9 hours worth of testimony, and I'm doing it as quickly as I possibly can. I've already gotten through motions 1 through 14. If you have not seen those videos, please go below and watch those first and then come back to this video. We are picking up on motion 15. Now this is regarding to limit what state can produce with experts. They referenced in Exhibit 1, which is the state experts. They talked about a Rule 16, which is Idaho Rules of Evidence offer expert opinions. Discovery request. Court scheduling order December 18th, motion to compel of expert list, and encourages and allows, the judge is going to encourage and allow supplemental on both sides. So if they have to add extra experts, they can, but he's allowing that for both sides of it. So the state has had way more time and still didn't meet their deadlines. Now they're discussing Nick Balance, who's the special agent for the FBI, who did the analysis of Bryan's cell phone records and things like that. They want to limit what he can testify to. They say he was co-located with investigators, offered PowerPoint with no analysis provided, did not testify for the grand jury. The last 7 minutes before Bryan's phone goes off, 2:45 goes off, exculpatory to Bryan Kohberger is what they're claiming. And essentially wants to impeach him, but doesn't know what he's going to say, and then wants court to preclude him from testifying to the 7 minutes without having previously disclosed or addressing this. So then Anne addressed like lab personnel and how the state used loose language, allowing them to be able to testify about other things than what they should be just testifying, which is like just straight facts, no opinions. And she does not want them giving any opinions because that's not what they're there to testify about. They eventually started talking about a Mr. Dawson, who is essentially going to testify that his theory that there had to have been 2 people based on the degree of intoxication that the roommates were under, and therefore he will try to say that the roommates were too drunk, and so it had to have been 2 people. But there were defensive rooms which could contradict that. They talked about a Barhart's habit evidence and not that it wasn't given to the defense. A special agent Douglas, who's going to be talking about bank records and give a bigger opinion on those. They talked about how Bryan potentially bought like an Amazon gift card and then buys the knife with the Amazon gift card. We haven't heard any of the details on all of this, so I really don't know, but they're saying that the state is piecemealing information to the defense, and the court can limit beyond discovery deadlines. So what's bizarre about this is that if the defense had missed their deadlines, the judge would have been in a tizzy. But multiple times they have pointed out that the prosecution has missed their deadlines, and yet he's done nothing about this. Now the state got back up and responded to this, saying December 18th disclosures, there were 25 experts for the guilt phase, and then 23 addressed over-disclosed judge order. So the judge said on January 23rd to over-disclose, and they said, we did. There's no specific deadline, supplements reasonably allowed. 25 expert reviewed and supplemented their statements, allowed defense to give disclosures later to allow for flexibility. So they tried to throw the bucket back at the defense and say, like, well, we gave you guys extra time, so what's the big deal? We're trying to be flexible, you guys should be too. And the defense came back and said it's not just one expert like it is on our side, it's across the board for you guys, so it's way different. So I think I'm going to stop there, and I will start my next video with motion 16, which is incomplete disclosures. And because it got really spicy and very interesting, Massive, who is the additional attorney for Bryan Kohberger, she's the little short one, brown hair, very feisty when it comes to this judge. She has litigated in front of him before. She's not afraid of him, and she makes it known. So I will bring that to the next video. Make sure you follow because I'm going to post that shortly.